Nigeria already has some of what is being described going on. Because from an article that I read that was published in 2019, Nigeria's ICT sector grew from less than 1% of GDP in 2001 to almost 10% in 2018 or 2019. And it surpassed South Africa to emerge as a premier investment destination. It has 55 active tech hubs, and it's raising a total of $94.9 million. Okay, so some of this stuff is going on. I don't think it's nearly enough, but I think it's important to emphasize that people in Nigeria are not sitting down waiting for anybody to come and do anything for them. You know, that there's stuff going on. I think what's needed, if you ask me, is the government says it's providing an enabling environment, and I think there's a lot of talk and probably a lot of action. It is not coming together yet in terms of what needs to happen. There's need to take infrastructure seriously in Nigeria. Where is every time I try to talk to somebody, you know, the call is dropped. People can't hear me. People come on Zoom. You know, I don't think the problem is with people being willing to use Zoom, but it's not working out very well. You know, somebody would be scheduled to make a presentation. Somebody from wherever else makes their own presentation. With the Nigerian person, they will drop out of circulation because of the spottiness of connectivity. If you don't work these things out, you really cannot compete as well as you can. And I think we have to give huge kudos to the Nigerians who are doing it in spite of. So if the government needs to do anything, these infrastructure issues need to be worked out. There's no two ways about it. That's one. Secondly, I just wonder sometimes also about how many people in diaspora are really sending these remittances. I know there's the huge amount of money, you know. I also know that a lot of people will take care of themselves first before they send. If people are waiting at home for the remittances, many more people would be in dire straits. So let's also be modest about what, I've been living in the US for 40 years and I do send remittances, but I think we need to be modest about the claims we make about these remittances. We help people, but we could do more, we could do better. You know, we could also do, if there's also opportunities to invest at home, I think more people would be putting their monies in those investments. So there's a lot that needs to be done by a government that has a developmentalist approach. And I don't think we have that yet in Nigeria. We have aspirations, we don't have that. So let's praise the entrepreneurs, the startup people, the you know, creative people who are making things work. Also in terms of, you know, using Zoom. I think using Zoom is one thing. Being able to use using it to appear for a service or for a conference is one thing. Operating it in a way that is coherent when you are making a presentation or you're putting together a conference, it's a whole different ballgame. You know, and I think too that I work in the US, I teach political science to people who should be, you know, highly skilled. People here also have the same challenges that Nigerians have with anything, you know. So I think we need to get away from the idea that we are not this or we are not the other. If you provide a workable and, you know, reliable platform and infrastructure, you will see Nigeria blossom to the extent that we, you know, we can only imagine now. So the government has its job to do, and we don't have people there that seem to have the enlightened self-interest of seeing how, if they enable the majority to have what they need to thrive, that they too, they can even do more kleptocracy and it wouldn't matter. Okay, so thank you very much.
I think the first thing I want to violently agree with is the fact that Nigerians, a lot of Nigerians are doing stuff in spite of, and that can not be emphasized enough. A lot of Nigerians are doing stuff in spite of. I've set up a business which I was able to successfully sell, and that business today has grown. I'm on the board of the company, has grown into a multi-billion naira business, and we're still growing. And there are opportunities, and people are doing stuff. I know of one time I was sponsoring a young university graduate to create content on YouTube, and he was excellent. But like she said, uploading a 7-minute video could take him 2 days just because of the infrastructure. So it's not for one. All this guy had was an iPhone, a second-hand iPhone that he bought, but he was doing stuff. So yes, there are a lot of people who are doing wonderful things in spite of, and who, if they were put in a different environment, they would probably excel more than, because, you know, as we all know, using Nigeria as the example, you find a lot of people have to, in quotes, run their own local government in addition to doing their work or their businesses or whatever it is. So absolutely agree with her. I also agree that there's a lot of investments that are being attracted. I'm on quite a number of social media groups, and I know what people are doing with technology, with finance, with lending, and so on. And a lot of these guys are able to attract investments into Nigeria. Having said that, we also need to recognize that, again, coming back to the bedrock of remittances, if somebody is going to put money into a business in Nigeria and they're putting, from their perspective, £100, they expect that in 10 years' time, that £100, when it's converted to naira at the start, was maybe 1,000 naira. If it becomes 2 million naira in 10 years' time, and you convert the 2 million naira back to pounds in 10 years' time, it comes to £95 that the investor hasn't gained. So we need to recognize that the exchange rate fluctuation is a big risk, something that would be interesting. It's a gap that needs to be addressed. So yes, the opportunities are there. People are doing stuff, and these people, you have to give them a lot of credit. They're doing great things in spite of the challenging environment.